Anybody that's been in the market for a while understands that it tends to act like a pendulum. When it swings too far one direction, it tends to swing back the opposite way. What we've been dealing with as of late is a big negative bearish swing. A lot of people thinking that we're falling into a bear market cycle, that things are going to get super ugly. And are we now actually seeing things start to tip back the opposite direction? In fact, there are a few people in the space that are suggesting we might be on the verge of a quote unquote rebound in the crypto market. Now, I want to talk about that with you guys, what this might look like here, a few things I'm watching closely. So if you guys are new or haven't already, show your support for the channel down below. Hit that subscribe button, that bell. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. Now, I understand a lot of people are going to have differing viewpoints. Some people think that we're falling into the deep depths of a bear market cycle and things are going to get truly ugly in the crypto market. And like we talked about yesterday, maybe we're just completing this this spring event right now when it comes to that Wyckoff accumulation model, and things will maybe get good as we head into the early part of 2026. But here's the thing: is it doesn't really matter which of the two you believe in, because even if we are falling into a bear market, even if things are getting ugly along the way, you can still have significant rallies along that way. Don't believe me? Look back at cycles past. ADA coming down from, $3 here had rallies of, like 50%. Rallies of, what was that one? 35%. Even on this drop that we're dealing with right now, in terms of ADA, we just had a rally a couple weeks ago of 23%. Okay. The point I'm trying to make is you can, when you get to such an oversold range, see some runs in the market. And what we're seeing right now is some signs that we might be on the verge of a run. So Ollie Charts actually posted that ADA right now is showing bullish divergence with RSI on the daily chart, and the TD sequential printed a buy signal. He said a rebound is coming. That is very possible. And then it's a question of, if we get this rebound, how is the overall market going to react to it? Is it going to fizzle out and start dumping like it did back here, or can it turn into something much, much bigger? Now, this was a great post by Minturn. This is actually data from Sentiment, and what it said is Cardano ADA enters the extreme buy zone. So Sentiment's 30-day MVRV score shows that ADA, Link, and Ethereum are in the extreme buy zones, while BTC and XRP sit in good buy zones. And what it says is ADA preparing for a major reversal? Potentially. We've talked about a few things that, again, are working in our favor right now. Liquidity doesn't really show a want to extend past these ranges, and maybe that changes even as the day progresses, right? But we've hit kind of this hard, we'll call it a hard ceiling here. And as long as we don't break through the roof, what tends to happen? You tend to move back the opposite direction. The market gains enough confidence to start flowing back into some assets. Right now, what we've also seen as well is that negative sentiment has gotten so bad, and the bears and the shorts have gotten so bad, they've created basically this huge wall of leverage liquidations that could take place, right? For ADA, big concentration of it runs all the way up to like 55 cents. And we're seeing this in terms of BTC as well. Just look at all that upside leverage that could be liquidated. So that's the thing, is it sure looks like we're kind of slowing down here. We're reaching basically the point where that pendulum has gotten to the far side, and then it slowly dies out and it starts to move back the opposite direction. All right. Now, something I will say here is we have seen now an increase in open interest in terms of ADA and some other assets in the crypto market. It still hasn't been insane. Right now, there's 10% more longs in the market than shorts, but it looks like short leverage is still outpacing the long leverage, and short leverage is actually closed in on price, where it seems like the long leverage is a little bit more dispersed, meaning that it's more likely right now to have short leverage liquidations than long leverage liquidations. Doesn't mean it can't happen, right? Because obviously, take a look at the last 24 hours. In terms of ADA, we've had $1.4 million in longs liquidated versus $376,000 in shorts liquidated. So the long leverage liquidations are still outpacing the shorts, but shorts are getting so confident that they're closing in on price. And that's the exact moment that you can see this push the opposite direction, if that makes sense to people. All right. Now, again, none of this is a guarantee. I'm not saying that this is going to take place for sure, but these are some pretty interesting points that we've looked at before that have led us to some exciting movements in the market. Maybe that will happen again. Maybe this afternoon is the exact news that we need. Maybe it's something that comes as we get the jobs data tomorrow, or as we get to the GDP report. There's a lot of things, right? Maybe surprise ETF listings, right? There's a lot of things that right now can actually basically completely flip the market around, and we'll see if that's the case or not. But this is something to definitely watch close. Now, one other thing I wanted to update here that I almost forgot about, is that Lace wallet actually has an update. So Lace version 1.31 is here, and it's packed with features you've asked for. Token swaps are now live, letting you swap Cardano native assets without ever leaving the wallet. Bitcoin support has now left the beta, and they're slowly rolling out general availability. Again, creating that connection with Bitcoin is a pretty big deal. Under the hood, we're optimizing the application by improving API request batching. We're building Lace with you, listening and improving and shipping what matters. So that's a pretty cool update. So I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. Do you think that we are actually forming some sort of a rebound? If we get this, do you think it's a sustainable one? Do you think it's a short-term one? So I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.